Well, hello, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about tax reform. That's a word we hear a lot lately, but I'm not talking about patching here and there tax reform as we've seen over the last 15 or so years or even 20 years. I'm talking about significant, fundamental tax reform, the kind of tax reform that will be designed to take the tax code and reform it from the inside out. Fundamental, significant overhauling tax reform. If you think about it, we're due for a tax reform of that kind. We have not had that significant tax reform since President Reagan pushed it through in 1986. That's been a while. Now, he actually tried to get this passed in, I think it was 84 or 85. It took Congress until 86 to finally pass it. So it's not going to be a quick piece of legislation to get through the Congress, but the time before 86 that we had significant overhaul was 1954. So if history is any guide, it's kind of about time for a major overhaul of the tax code. Now, a lot of you out there are cheering right now. I can hear you, because everybody in the country has their own view of what tax overhaul should be. But everybody kind of thinks that the code needs to be reformed. It is over 2,000 pages long. Well, Congress is actually showing signs of bipartisan talk that they do, both sides want to have some type of tax reform, significant tax reform put on the table. So much that the House has already put a bill number on a potential piece of legislation. There are, the Congress, both sides of the aisle, have already formed 11 working groups to study this. And as I say, both the House Ways and Means Committee and the Senate Finance Committee are putting a lot of energy into this. Now, I think that it truly may happen this time, because the chair of the Senate Finance Committee, Max Baucus, has announced that he's going to retire at the end of next year. We think that he wants to make, as his legacy, fundamental tax code overhaul part of his legacy. So, I think because of that, we're going to see discussions intensify in the coming months. So what will this look like? Well, nobody knows, of course, but if I had to guess, here's what I would think. I would think the preferential dividend rates and preferential long-term capital gains rates that we've been enjoying since Bush put them into the law, and even before him, are going to go back up to ordinary tax rates. No more preferential rates for dividends or long-term capital gains. And dividends and long-term capital gains do cost the government quite a bit of money. If you think back to your history, back to the 86 overhaul, that's when long-term capital gains got the axe, and we're no longer given any preferential treatment. So we could be repeating ourselves on that. I wouldn't look for any of this tax overhaul to take place until at least 2014, however. Now, the sticky point, and here's why it may take so long, is because not only does it cost a lot of revenue, as I said, but anything Congress does is going to be tied and pegged to some type of legislation to reduce the debt. And that is where the two sides of the aisle get out of sync. So, in its totality, the fundamental tax reform that we're going to see will be tied to debt reduction. That's all we know for now. It's a crystal ball, so let's keep watching, and I'll give you more information as I see things unfolding. For now, thanks a lot for listening, and have a great day.